What a different after show. Usually I'm sitting poked away and then I kind of join the lads on the couch and get involved. But this after show is based on the episode that went out on Thursday between Justin and his divine goddess of a wife, Beatrice Caffrey, who's in front of me. Hi.
Hi, Rebecca.
I feel like it's like late show. Like, hey, how's your career?
Look at
and
jeans.
I know.
Same top, Beverly Hills.
Different
New York.
parts of the state, but
I know.
but aligned.
Yeah.
But like you did an episode, and we're missing our gorgeous dear friend and Justin's brother Colm this week. So we're all just coming together as a family, as you do.
Absolutely.
And your episode was remarkable. So we're gonna have the chats on the back of that. And Justin is in the room, in the house.
Same parents, different timelines, and united by chaos. Strap on, strap in, for the not-so-Christian brothers.
Yes, I'm here. Let me see, can I actually bring myself into...
Coping with tech.
Yes, here I am.
Hello.
So, we have no Terry. We have no Colm. So we're sending lots of love to Colm. He's got some stuff going on this week. We're sending not so much love to Terry because he's dropped me in it.
Yeah.
So I'm here trying to do the technical stuff, and I apologize. The cameras may not be as fluid.
Doesn't matter.
But we'll get there.
And the room smells so nice. There's so many pheromones.
When you came in,
it's just everything smells better, right?
absolutely.
Like I was like, your hair is really nice, Beatrice. Did you
every
do
day,
that? She was
every
like, no,
day.
yesterday.
No,
Yeah.
I went to the hairdresser yesterday. I got it. Not because of this today, but it was
Different vibes, less penisy.
Yes.
Would you
and
say?
see, as two females, we can now have a moan or not about shared tasks in the house or not shared
I wonder
tasks.
will this all just rebrand? Like, will we just go? Obviously, the initial podcast got in major. There was a legal drama about that, and there was a massive rebrand. I came on board, but I wonder, does not so Christian brothers need to take a whole different leap of faith to the
Not so Christian sisters. There we are.
Also, I had
No,
to say,
can I just say
I had-
that we're not
What?
being hijacked here. This is for men by men, and we
that
occasionally
just sounded like
let
a Lynx ad. What the hell's wrong with you?
for men by men, and we
Also-
occasionally allow women in.
Also, we need to time check this.
This is like a private
It's
members
10
club.
past 12, and that's sex date for Justin and Beatrice. If you listen to
Jesus
episode
Christ.
2, I think, or 3, where Justin spoke about the importance of sex, and Colm was like, not so much, and I was like, And I'm just really conscious that I'm eating,
supposed to be now.
eating into that time, and just hoping nothing happens. Anyway, that episode yesterday was, like, jokes aside, about the load. You are married how many years?
20 years this year.
No way.
Yes, coming up in November, 20 years.
It doesn't seem like that when I'm around you guys. And obviously I'm not around you all the time, but like there's a lovely energy and essence and warmth. There's never the moany factor or the picking on each other. And I think a lot of that you spoke about yesterday, where the anger and maybe some of the resistance and crankiness maybe within your relationship is kind of ebbed and flowed and gone. Tell me how you got to that point.
I think first of all, there's respect for each other, for the way that you both also, you're not the same person that you were 20 years ago. I'm not the same person. Justin's not the same person. So you have to have a kind of respect for the path that you both take individually over these 20 years.
Okay, the evolution.
The evolution, and obviously working on the fact that you're still staying on the same path. And having respect for what the other person is doing. It doesn't mean you have to do everything together. If Justin was, when he's out there swinging the rope and doing this rope walking, I'm not out there with him. I don't have to do it.
And if he goes on his trips, you're not always with them.
I don't always have to go with him. Equally, when I go away, he doesn't always have to come with me. So I think it's important that you both have a life away from each other.
But did you have to work on that? Because you spoke on the episode about how your life became a little bit more within the home. Yes, you'd interests. Yes, you're raising your son, Luca, but you were within the home. And I was thinking about that traditional role. Did you have to really work towards this independence and not being on top of each other so you didn't kill each other?
Well, actually, now we spend more time together than we did before because we both work from home now. So we're together a lot.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like I just need to go and
I think that's like retired
have a coffee
people
somewhere.
often say that they're like, suddenly he's at home after 40 years, 30 years in the corporate world. And they're kind of excited about that thought, like, will there be cruises and date night? And suddenly it's not. It's just really the mundane day-to-day fiddling around, annoying each other. And that can be really hard on, I think as humans, you don't want to be with anyone 24/7.
No. And I think it's important. I think we still make each other laugh. I think that's a really good thing to have.
That's so nice. I love respect is the nice thing you said there, because actually you're right. It's not about the hots for or intellectualizing or money. It's like if you don't respect each other, you're kind of doomed.
Yeah.
And then you're saying we can still make each other laugh even in the shit time. I mean, that's so important.
Yeah. Sense of humor together is really important, and communication, that you talk about things that you're maybe not happy with, and that you have also that you listen to what the other person has to say instead of instantly. If somebody tells you, if the person tells you, "Oh, I don't like it when you do this," and you instantly go, "Oh, but you always do that." That's
Or you've got a story to better them. Well, this happened, like
Yeah,
a one-upping your story. Or
yeah. So
can I ask a private question? Who opens those kind of community? Like, do you find, is there one
Justin.
person? Yes, I was going to say it has to be.
Yeah.
Because often you will find, and I think it's sexist because I don't think it's actually true, that women will open those conversations with I'm frustrated. But actually, a lot of women I know hide from this stuff, and I just find it really hard to talk about all this stuff and actually get more sulky, emotional, withdrawn,
Yeah.
and low in a relationship. Whereas I do know more men, and thank God for it, and thank God for the Justins of this world who go, let's talk about the fact that there's frustrations building, or we haven't had sex in ages, or things are, my microphone was too dead. But then I don't want to be like this the whole time. Anyway, it's great because that stuff that's what makes things crap and fester and the rot sets.
exactly. And to be honest, and Justin knows that I am a person who I will hold things in.
Okay, I'm like that.
And then at some point it will blow up, or get really upset about things. Then I'm crying.
Yeah.
And then he goes, but why didn't you talk about this before?
Same. Yeah.
So he's the one who will open up the conversation and who will start to, like, Justin cannot, don't ever tell Justin a secret.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, really?
Or don't ever tell him something, just don't tell anybody just yet.
Why?
He will instantly. It's just because he shares information. He's a communicator.
So
Okay,
he
okay,
has
okay.
all.
I don't know. I don't mean this in a way, that you can never hold a secret. But
He's a
Justin would talk
communicator.
about things.
That's great, though.
You know?
So he will come, like, you'll get emotional. I'm like this, Beatrice, and I'm withdrawn, and I'm really emotional as a person. I'm not great at shouting and confrontation.
Yeah.
And if Justin is coming to you and going, what's going down? Like, that's great.
Yeah.
Do you
No,
find
it
it
is
helps?
really, really
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Yeah.
But then you were talking about, like, getting to a point where it was like, I don't, and I think this is a really important message, and it's not for everyone, but I don't care so much about the dishwasher being fucked together and people putting things the wrong way, or the fact that I do a lot with the bins and because I also know that there's other great things that he is doing.
Yeah.
But also it leads to nothing when you get pissy about that stuff. That was really interesting to me.
Well, yeah, and I think, we spoke about this just before. If this is not a way of excusing shitty behavior.
Yes.
There is a limit there. There's a line there.
Yes.
But do I want to waste my energy on little
was it.
conversations like that? And I'm thinking, no.
No, that's what I loved. It was
And
the
that can create this kind of this underlying anger or rage, and
which ends a marriage effectively.
Exactly.
Because even if you don't split, it ends it because the resentment is so bad that if anyone even said, "Oh, it's Justin," you're just like, Justin.
Yeah.
Well, he's useless, and that's not good for anyone.
no.
And then people are a bit like, well, why are they still together? Like, what's the jazz with Beatrice? It's that you hear it a lot of couples are like, well, he's just useless and he does nothing around the house. And it's like, well, talk it out. But I did like that you were like, there are certain things I know that he will never do or take on as his mental load or isn't arsed with because he's these other great adventures. And I said to you, well, isn't it great for Justin that he's a genius and a businessman earning money, but that bad behavior, you're forgiving. And you're like, no, Rebecca, sorry. He can't come in and be toxic. He can't come in and be drunk in my home. He can't abuse me. He's not coercive. He's not withdrawing. But what he is doing is other things while I do this stuff, and it works in synchronicity. And I think a lot of people need to figure that out.
Yeah.
Figure out what works.
Yeah.
And not all of us are there.
No, exactly.
I'm only in my marriage 10 years and I'm probably not there.
So what is it like in your house?
So Jason would be a real doer. Very practical. And would be like, but then it can be competitive because if I take on one of those roles, it's like upsetting to him. Like if I do the clothes washing, he's like really territorial about the washing machine. I'm just like, it's only a wash. He's like, well, why would you put one under the nail? And it goes, I do it this time of the day. So that can be really strange. And then,
See, that never happens in our house.
I know he loves a good wash.
Justin doesn't get territorial about the washing machine
Or anything.
I don't even know if he knows where it is.
Where is it?
I asked ChatGPT the other day, and it told me it's
stop.
apparently it's generally
Why
in a
don't you just
utility
get
room.
ChatGPT to replace? Why don't you AI us now?
But the funny
Be
thing
easier,
is,
right?
Rebecca, the funny thing is, when I go away,
yeah.
it all happens. Of
course
and I
it
come back
does.
to a house which is super tidy. The kitchen is clean. Everything is done. And I'm like, it does work. It's just not when I'm
the
around.
system works, but when you're around, he knows that you're the system, right?
Yeah,
But also-
like in real terms though,
Yeah.
like the reality is, I think in a household and for men, and okay, as I said, we're probably the last generation where there's still some kinds of gender roles. Like you're millennial.
No, but that's coming back. I was
you think
talking
so?
to the traditional, you know about the trad
Oh,
wife
Okay, the
thing.
trad
wife
wife.
thing.
Yeah, I've been trying to find one of them.
And they're mad for the sex. No, take that out. I don't know if they
Oh God, are they?
Because
Right, I'm for
apparently
that.
some awful article I read in the Observer, it's like they go off their birth control and love just having the babies. They're mad for this, but it's to please. It's all about the pleasing of the man thing.
Yes.
Anyway, I don't know
yes,
if that's
great,
if-
fantastic.
if that's rampant, but Jason would be a traditionalist in lots of ways, but is mad for the housework, and I think it's a boarding school thing or something. I'm not sure. No. So is clean and tidy and hoovers so much that there's a joke in our house when we're trying to have a conversation, he starts hoovering, and I don't know if that's anxiety or hatred of me. But
There's
I'll be
something
like,
about the cleaning thing, the excessive cleaning thing,
Oh my
when
God.
people, when they feel overwhelmed, they start
Yes.
cleaning.
That's what my mum always says. So I'm like, let's talk about the fact that, like, we hate each other. Like, that's, I'm like, are we mid? So it's kind of comical, but also really, really strange. And my daughter is now in on it. She's like, Dad's hoovering, Mum, so he doesn't want to talk to you or I. Or
Can you imagine if I started hoovering because I'm like upset at you? Like, let me just get the vacuum cleaner out and work through my anger.
Like, honestly, he'll come back into the room with the Hoover, and I'm like, I was mid chat about that really important tax issue, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm listening. So the hoovering, I feel really bad, but the hoovering is
So your house is really clean then.
very clean, and I don't know if that also works with two people who are very anal. I will
Yeah.
not use the word OCD because there are people who suffer really badly with OCD, but we
Yeah.
are very clean, right? And I was with someone previously who was not so clean, and that was hard. But he does do all of that and is very hands-on, and that is great. But then I think I do have a bit of a resentment because I'm main chef, caregiver-y, bedtime-y, but I think that'll pass as they get older.
Yeah.
But I do a lot of the cleaning, the mental load. Let's be honest, like there was vaccination forms this morning for my daughter, which we're going to just stay there probably for 7 years, and then she will never get vaccinated. Or the Aladdin app for school, which is very busy. There's fees, there's activities, there's
But that's
play
actually the
dates.
thing, we didn't get
mental
to
load.
talk. Yeah, we didn't talk about the other day that, if there's a huge amount of stuff to kind of just run the family. It's like a business, basically.
It's a corporation.
It's all the school forums, the WhatsApp groups.
But where's the shares? There's no money in it.
Yeah, I know. I know. But there's a huge amount of time that you spend on those things. I look after all whatever invoices, billing, school.
But then you get a
family
really good
holidays.
shag on a Friday at 12, Beatrice. Why are you so
Well,
bitter?
Where's that happening? No, but
so
the other thing I
funny.
wanted to also say is that with women, sometimes we also have to be careful because we
Control.
we want the house to look a certain way.
Okay.
And that for men, that may not be quite as important. And so, maybe that's not in every family.
no,
but
I
know-
agree, but I
But
think
I
that-
also
like
think
the pillows always need to be fluffed up and
Yeah.
everything needs to be
Yeah.
presentable.
yeah, sure, yeah.
Yes.
But I always like everything to look really nice as well.
I think I know what you're saying. You're more talking about to another female's gaze or to guess or to your son
Yeah.
that you want a stylish home.
Yes.
So forget about clean now here
Yeah,
and
yeah,
presentable.
yeah.
You want to have nice things. I'm not
Exactly.
saying you're going to spend millions, and I know that you're really like careful and good with things, but you do want a nice home, right? And I do think you're correct about that. We want all of the good things.
Yeah, we want it to look always
exactly.
presentable and nice.
Like the new Smeg thing or the newest, and like what's trendy and cool, and you're definitely like into the aesthetics. You're very stylish. I don't think men care so much. So you wondered, like, if you weren't together, would the house look like that? But that, you're right, is a pressure. We live in an Instagram world now, right?
Exactly.
My mum said a really interesting thing to me yesterday. I said, God, it's very overwhelming. I only have 2 children, remember? And, they're not that hard working. She's like, what is? And I was like, well, the apps thing. And she goes, we didn't have any of that. And you guys grew up. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I don't remember having vaccine forums and play dates. Not at all. No activities. Brought you swimming now and again. And I was like, what? But the build up, and I do think we do it to ourselves, Beatrice.
Yeah.
And then men get bitter because they're like, you feckin' took that load on. That ticker tape that runs through your head all day, you did that. You wanted the blinds chap turning up this morning. You wanted the designer dog. You want your kids to be fit, healthy, but like, don't bemoan that when you want it. And I do think it's interesting.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we put pressure on ourselves, and like that's about being fit, happy, and healthy. But I think, yeah, like I get overwhelmed with the kid stuff, and I think my husband's a bit like, we'll take a bit off that. Like, I don't know what the answer is. I don't think it'll ever change if you have men who are at their core quite masculine or alpha, like, and you have a female, like that role. I think it's always going to be like this.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that fatalistic?
No, I think you're right, but that's what I meant also with, you know, that's how I've learned to let go of things, because sometimes I am putting that pressure on myself that, you know, then if there's shoes lying around or stuff lying around, which doesn't bother them, it bothers me. But it's not, you know, that's the pressure that I'm putting on myself.
Yeah, but it's also annoying if the shoes lying around.
But it's not annoying to them.
It's only a pair of shoes.
Yeah, but it's
Exactly.
irritating when you come in, you're kicking the fucking
But that's me, so I have to. And,
or
you
the
know, in
coat
my
that
head,
falls off the hook and sits
in
there.
my head, I have to deal with that. So if I wanted to look a certain way, I can't constantly. What's the point of constantly telling them you have to put that away? You have to put that away, because it doesn't bother them, you know. And I've accepted they live in that house too. I'm not on my own.
Oh, I love how you're including Luke in this. I'm just ripping Justin apart, but you're like, well, I have a son who's also like, is he quite clean and tidy? And
He's actually relatively tidy, I have to say.
I have a friend who
Just
did
me then, yeah.
yeah. It's just you who's out. I have a friend who did a test. She left things on the bottom of her stairs for a week.
Oh, listen.
But it was a brilliant test, and she put up on Instagram, and it was like the washing. So there was a clean things that had been folded. There was a basket of dirty stuff to go up. There was things that needed to go to rooms, like there was shampoos and conditioners that had been bought in a wash or in a shop that hadn't gone to the various bathrooms. Loo roll. They stayed on the stairs
Forever.
for a week, and he went, "What's the jazz with that stuff?" And she just went, "What do you mean? What's the jazz with that stuff? That's your clean fucking underwear, the loo roll. How have you been pissing and and like that's your toothbrush? Like, what do you mean?" And he's like, "I'm just wondering what it's. Could you bring it to that?" And he's like, "I was just wondering, were you doing something with it?" She's like, "Yeah, but you see, I'm photographing it for an art gallery."
We have to say it out loud.
No, but
You
that's
can't
not okay. No,
Yeah, but
Beatrice.
hold on a second. I think when the stuff is like down on the bottom of the stairs, I think you're just kind of assembling things
shut
for
up.
like a big kind of like industrial
can't.
move
I
upstairs. I don't. I think if I take it, like we have a 3-story house. What if I bring it to the wrong floor?
Then I tell you to bring it back down.
You're not that thick, Justin. You've accomplished quite a lot in your life, you know. Where is there a malice in? Like, part of me thinks men have like this malice in them that we kind of.
No,
go,
I just think men are, you know,
No.
you have to be really straightforward and you have to say, can you bring that upstairs?
No, I think we're forgiving them a lot of their foibles. Like, you have just
we expect them to know things
Beatrice,
without
'cause-
saying it.
No, because you just said 5 minutes ago. But when I go away, everything works. There's a
Oh yeah, but I wouldn't leave things on the stairs when I go away and expect them to bring it
No.
upstairs. That's not going to happen.
I wonder,
No.
is there a malice? Is there a bit of a perverse kind of nature to men where they're like, fucking, I'm not bringing that shit up. Let's see how this goes down. Or
I might try that. I'm going away next week or
and
the
that's
week
so
after.
interesting. Or like, I have an empire to run here. That bitch can do the bins. Like, I just sometimes want to know what's going down in their minds. Or is it purely penis and money all day?
Well, there's a lot of that.
Okay, to be clear,
Okay.
we don't think generally, right?
Yeah.
So
Full
like the
stop.
reality is, we're thinking
You're
about.
thinking all day, Justin. You don't stop.
No, I
thinking.
know, but exactly. But we're like, I'm thinking about, you know, what I'm doing in terms of business or clients. I'm thinking about, you know, I'm going to watch football tonight. And then I'm probably thinking, how far away are we from Friday? And am I going to have sex this week?
Wow, that's nice.
And that's the extent of it. Like when I was younger, I'd be thinking
sounds
about
like a
sex
6-year-old.
25 times a day. But now that we have scheduled sex, it
Which
means
I-
I don't have to think about it all the time. So it's one less thing to think about. So I don't have the space to think about what needs to come up the
Sorry,
stairs.
Justin, I'm going to completely and women are going to be up in arms about this. Does this lady, this divine goddess, not have stuff to think about other than you? Do you don't think she's thinking about her next video, her clients, what she's going to do, creating content, which is impeccable, her son's needs, her family's needs, stuff that's going on at the moment, cooking, making her. You think that she's thinking about the stuff on the stairs and loo roll and hoovering? She doesn't give a shit either, but it has to be done. And she's definitely not thinking about sex day. I just can't. It's just we excuse. Like I said to my mum, if you enable them all their lives and then get pissy about it at 70, 80, that's on you.
Yeah,
And that's
exactly
what I loved about the episode.
Exactly.
You weren't pissy.
No,
But I love that.
no.
But you're right. You know what? It's like someone that's not nice to you. And I
'Cause
know,
I-
I know Justin's really nice to you and a great husband, but it's like the friend who's not nice to you. You can get angry about that and be sad about that relationship. And it was like Justin giving me advice recently. He's like, sometimes you let things go and you can live pissy about just in the shoes, right? Jokes aside. But it doesn't do you any good, right?
No, exactly.
Or the house.
No.
So what are we saying? Live and let. What are we saying? Kumbaya.
I think if it really annoys you, you have to talk about it, as in a proper conversation, and not like, oh, why do you not bring the beans out? But in a proper conversation at a different time, maybe, and talk about things that really annoy you, and otherwise let it go.
Problem is, not everyone has your relationship that is watching and listening to this, and some people have relationships where they really find their husband does, or their wife does nothing of help and is lazy and isn't contributing to the daily load or the household load or the shopping or the food. And they honestly are fighting about this for the last 10, 15 years, Beatrice. And they're not at a point like you and Justin where there's chats and sex times and fun times and talking about. And that's when a relationship, it is not golden.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Well, that's another episode.
And then
exactly. But I think that also means that the next phase of that is having difficult conversations. So sitting down and talking about how you feel and what's going on, or finding a therapist or somebody to referee.
Which I just don't know about that, Justin. I know how incredible you are at your job and like performance, but I don't know often if a therapist can get through when that resentment is so deeply set.
Oh, if it's left to fester for too long, it's generally over. But it's if you're struggling and you're thinking that there has to be something better than this, then it's time to start talking, because if not, one of you is going to go walking and it's over.
And finally, just to say, if there are things, and there are always things about you and him that's going to annoy me, but if you are able to come together and have a bit of sex or have a date night or actually just laugh about something stupid on your phones or watch a movie, and the softness in the darkness, because it's not always the crack, it's great.
Yeah. So keep that in mind, for 20 years of marriage, you still have something that you share after 20 years.
We'll be back next
away
week
from the
because
kids.
we're taking over. This is a
takeover
heist.
Yes, that was a takeover, and thank you, ladies. I feel like an absolute appendage in this episode. So please, if you've liked what these wonderful women have had to say, please like, subscribe, follow, share us with your friends, hit us up on social, Not So Christian Brothers. You'll find Beatrice Caffrey, you'll find Rebecca Horan, you'll find me, Justin Caffrey. Thank you for being here.